Hey, welcome to part one of the 8-Bit Show's Love Island special. I'm Hekla Petursson, and usually I chat about geek, fandom, and subculture, but I was honored to interview Gracyn, Vanna, and Austin from season 7 of hit show Love Island, alongside my coworker Ella Hardy, who knows her stuff. All three of them were in Virginia this month, and here's a sneak peek of what they were up to. You know her. That was Casa More Bombshell, Gracyn Blackmore, surprising her sisters at Alpha Phi in Virginia Tech. Stay tuned for Gracyn's favorite spots in Virginia because she is a local, and a sneak peek of what they were up to in the villa and outside of it. In part two, the gossip will get juicy. We have an exclusive interview with Gracyn, Vanna, and Austin about what went down before, during, and after the show, including the reunion and what went down on social media. How did it feel to come and surprise your sisters?
Oh my gosh, I had so much fun being able to visit Alpha Phi here at Virginia Tech. Obviously, I was in Alpha Phi while I was here, and I lived in the sorority house. So, like, kind of like stepping back into somewhere I lived was so amazing. Those girls have been so supportive of me. Even when I didn't have my phone, I didn't know that they were watching. They were posting that they were having watch parties, and they showed me exactly where they were sitting around every day. And they said they voted for me, they cheered for me, like they felt like they knew me, which is so special. Because everybody who's in the sorority now I hadn't met before because I just missed them. I graduated in 2022, so I was just like, I can't believe that they feel connected to me and I feel connected to them because we shared the same experience. So it was just, they were so amazing, so kind, so nice. It felt so good to be back home.
That's so amazing.
So I was gonna ask, as a fellow Alpha Phi, even though I didn't go to Virginia Tech, I was in a fellow Virginia school at Alpha Phi, and we were all also supporting you and voting for you through everything. So we felt connected to you as well. And I know Alpha Phi had a huge impact on me while I was in college. So how do you feel like Alpha Phi impacted you at your time at Virginia Tech?
Absolutely. So for me, philanthropy was really important for me going through Rush. It kind of impacted how I picked like which sorority I wanted to go with. Heart disease, like personally, has affected my family, and with Alpha Phi, their organization is the Alpha Phi Foundation. So they support heart health, and they donate to charitable causes that support heart health. So when I was an Alpha Phi at Virginia Tech, I decided I wanted to like be on exec and be the head of philanthropy, and I wanted to kind of make like my impact that way. And then I felt like having sisters, like all of us supporting each other in supporting a cause, is really, really special. And then, of course, it just provided a sense of sisterhood, not only in my chapter at Virginia Tech, but just like you said, I feel connected to everybody. I mean, I get comments like AOE is the way that we greet each other, right? I get comments on my page to this day, just AOE, AOE. It just feels like a sense of like love and support from people that you don't even know, and you still feel a connection to them. So I am like so blessed. I think sororities are so special. Even when people think like sororities, when you think of sororities, sometimes you think of partying, but there's so much more than that. It's so special to feel that connection throughout everybody who's gone through the same experience as you and supported the same cause as you. So very, very grateful to be an Alpha Phi.
That's so lovely. Like the general support theme that you get from your sisters is so sweet.
Yeah.
One thing that I love to see, especially on shows like this, is not only you're not only stunting, but you're also an educated gal. And I know I would love to hear about what you studied and if you do you feel like you use it or it influences what you're doing now?
Absolutely. I think Virginia Tech gave me like a very well-rounded, education, which is great. I use it still. I graduated with a degree in marketing management. So I was in the business school, Pamplin College of Business here at Virginia Tech. And a minor in entrepreneurship. So when I was going through and trying to figure out what I wanted to do, I really thought I wanted to be a talent agent. So I actually moved out to Los Angeles. I graduated early from Virginia Tech to do that. So I graduated a semester early. I graduated a semester early. I moved out to Los Angeles and worked for United Talent Agency for a little over a year. And I learned like the ins and outs of the digital talent world and influencer relationships and partnerships. So it's really interesting that I went through, my education at Virginia Tech to prepare me for that. And now being on the other end of it, now I'm like, okay, now I'm trying to make a presence on social media. And now I know the back end. And I kind of, thank that for my education at Virginia Tech, allowing me to have like the foundation I needed to get a job at an amazing place like UTA. And now I feel so well-rounded and educated in this world. I'm still new and I'm still getting the hang of it. And posting videos and sharing myself online, that's always going to be something difficult, but at least I feel like my education has prepared me to try to go about it the most strategic and best way possible. But yeah, I thank all of that to Virginia Tech for sure.
And I think we can see in your social media presence and the way you've conducted yourself on the show and after the show that you really have a professionalism about you. Like you have some grace. And I love to see
You.
it.
Thank you so much. Like it's honestly, we're all human and everybody like makes mistakes and has human error. And it's so hard to kind of open up and be like so vulnerable on something like a dating show when I feel like my education at Virginia Tech prepared me to be like very professional and just, like just overall try to be as well-rounded as possible as a professional. So like to be able to let those kind of like guards down to be myself on TV was definitely a little bit difficult. And even now, like just interacting on social media and stuff, it's still hard for me to kind of like let down those barriers a little bit and show like who I really am as a person.
Yeah.
But it's like baby steps.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was going to ask, that kind of goes in well into our next question. So obviously there's a lot of emotions that go into everything on Love Island. I was going to ask, so obviously everybody knows that you went in as somebody in Casa More, and I'm sure it was difficult because all of the guys had already had those prior connections from the main villa. So how did you feel going into Casa More, knowing that all of those people already had those connections and you kind of had to wiggle your way in there in some way?
Yeah. It was difficult. I was so nervous to go in for Casa because when you get out to Fiji, so I was sequestered for 2 weeks before I actually went into the villa. So you have no idea when they're going to put you in. You don't know whether you're going to go in as like the original cast or if you're going to go in as a bombshell, or go in for Casa. You just have no clue, or if you're going to go in at all. And which happens. So when I found out I was going in for Casa, like 2 days before I went in, I was so nervous because I was like, I don't know that I can be aggressive enough to feel like I can split somebody up. But at the same time, it is the purpose of the show is to go on there and to just really put yourself out there. So I didn't want to pass up the opportunity to do that, but I was definitely really nervous. I had no idea what it was going to be like, but I feel like this season was a little different from past. I think everybody at the time I went in was pretty open to exploring.
Yeah. I will say, I
So
agree. I have been a long time Love Island watcher. I've been watching since the very first season. And this season,
really,
I finally got my mom and my sister on the bandwagon. And the entire time I was watching, I was like, this is completely different than any other
yes.
season that we've had so far.
That's how they like kind of comforted us as well as they were like, trust me, if you feel nervous about going in for Casa, don't because everybody seems to be really open. It's going to be like, it's going to feel like it's starting all over again, going in there, like just go be yourself. And, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. So I tried to kind of have that mentality that if I'm supposed to be with somebody, then I will be with somebody. But
Yeah.
it was definitely like interesting to navigate for sure.
Yeah, and the next thing I was going to bring up is obviously the way that you went home. That was a very hectic night. There were a
Yeah.
lot of dumpings this season that were very different from any other type of Love Island dumping that I have ever
Yeah.
seen. And the night you went home was one of those that it was very hectic compared to most of the Love Island dumpings. And the way that it had gone down, obviously, for anybody that doesn't know, is people got to choose who they wanted to stand behind to stay in the villa. And you only had Elan stand behind you. And I think everybody was a little bit confused at
Yeah.
first because you guys didn't really have a whole lot going on. I don't know if that really stemmed from a great friendship that you guys had developed or if there was anything more there. So what do you think was the main reason that he stood behind you and how did you feel in that moment, at least having somebody there with you?
Yeah. So actually me and Elan, when we were in the villa, we were getting to know each other.
Oh,
So it just didn't show, obviously. There were a lot of parts of my journey that they just did not air. That was one of them. So me and Elan were starting to like pull each other for chats. When I started to get the sense that my current connection was like feeling a bit like pulled back or reserved, I was like, I think I need to get to know other people. So me and Elan were getting to know each other. He was making me pancakes in the shape of a
oh,
G, and he's such a good, sweet guy. So when he stood behind me, he was like, "This is Love Island. I'm going to stand behind like the person that I want to get to know more." So that was the reasoning behind him standing there, at that time.
yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting because people are like, oh, he must have like felt bad, that nobody was sitting
Yeah.
behind you. But little do people know, like we were starting to get to know each other at the time. Yeah.
Yeah, and the only reason I asked of whether it was a friend thing was because I've been seeing that you've been hanging out with a lot of them outside the villa, especially people from the Casa more on the guy side and the Casa more on the girl
Mhm.
side. So I was going to ask who were you closest with, and I know Elana is one of those people.
Yeah, I would say that I feel close with a lot of people from Casa. I think that I'm really close with Clark, and I'm really close with Vanna and Jaden and Coco. All the girls, like we all have
Yeah.
stayed really connected, and then the guys, of course, like Zach and Elan and Chris, and Austin and I are really close too. So Charlie, I still talk to. We all really stay. It's just like sorority and just like fraternity, like when you rush with somebody, you feel just like a bond with them. So that's
Yeah.
kind of how it was like in the villa. We just have a connection and a way to relate to each other that other people can't. So it's nice that we're all there for each other, and we still hang out all the time. I just got back from Salt Lake City visiting Zach and Vanna, and now I'm here in Blacksburg with Vanna and Austin. So we're having a great time and really thankful to have each other.
Yeah, and I'm excited later today. We're going to talk to you, Vanna, and Austin all together,
Mhm.
because it's such a big day in Virginia for you guys.
Mhm.
And I know you
Yeah.
should.
Yeah, so going off of that, obviously you guys are doing a meet and greet and you're going to be in the Berg and things like that tonight. So do you guys have any upcoming fun projects, whether it's you yourself or the rest of the team that you guys are together? Any fun projects upcoming in the future that you can share?
Let's see. So, yeah, Austin and Vanna and I are going to be at the Berg tonight. We're going to be hosting and we're going to be doing a meet and greet, which is like so crazy to me. Like that people are going to like come like to meet me. I still like cannot like that is insane to me, but I'm really grateful. And let's see, tomorrow I'll be at SMU.
Oh,
So in Dallas. So I'll be hanging out with some of the students at SMU. So that's going to be really fun. And then Vanna and I are going to also be in Michigan in a couple weeks.
Cool.
And Austin travels all over the country to different colleges, and so does like everybody does.
I know I saw
As for
TJ was at Virginia Tech too. I was like,
Yes, TJ was here last weekend. He said it was crazy. He said it was packed like shoulder to shoulder. I'm like, I don't doubt that. TJ's got all the girls wanting to come meet him. But yeah, I think I've got some like partnerships coming up in September that I'm still like working on, which
yeah.
is really, really exciting for me because like I said, I used to do partnerships like for a living for influencers. So to like be able to have my own partnerships is like the
Yeah.
coolest thing ever. Like it's so cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're just all kind of taking one day at a time and seeing like how we can use our platform for good. And hopefully I'll figure out a way to give back, and you know, hopefully soon I'm gonna start getting involved in some philanthropy and giving back to the community and thanking everybody for supporting me. So
I love
I
to
love
hear
that.
it. Now, my very last question, back to our Virginia roots, is do you have any go-to spots in Virginia if people want to take the Grayson tour?
Yeah, okay. Well, if you're coming to Virginia, I'm not sending you to Nova. I'm sending you to Southwest Virginia. I'm
Agreed.
from, yeah, I'm from Bristol, which is on the border of Virginia and Tennessee. It's a town that's split down the middle. Half of it's in Tennessee and half of it's in Virginia. If you're going to come over that way, it's technically in Tennessee, but you've got to go to the Bristol Motor Speedway. I used to be an
Okay.
intern there. When I was in college. Going to watch a NASCAR race is something I grew up doing. So you got to come over this way for that. And then, of course, you got to visit Blacksburg. This is like literally this is the most beautiful college you will ever go to. It's so gorgeous. And coming back here, I'm like, I just forgot how amazing this place is. And yeah, Southwest Virginia, you got to come to the mountains. It's the
Cool.
best. It's beautiful.
I love it. So the people need to visit Bristol and they need to visit Blacksburg and they can skip over
Yes.
Nova.
Yeah. I mean, Nova's great too. That's where a lot of my friends are from. But
Mine too.
yeah, I'm a Southwest Virginia girl.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show to chat with us. We love to talk to a Virginia, well, I guess born and raised.
Yeah.
Yeah, born and raised.
Born and raised. Do you have where can people find you if they haven't already? Maybe
Oh
like
my gosh. Well, I'm on Instagram and TikTok and Snapchat. It's all just my name, Gracyn Blackmore. So yeah, if you want to keep up with what I do and how I go about the rest of this experience, then you can follow me on there. Just come say hi. But yeah.
Hey, welcome back. Grayson was the sweetest. I had a great time interviewing her. She had so much insight, so I tried not to cut anything. Be sure to show her some love on her socials and stay tuned for part 2, where I interview Grayson, Vanna, and Austin in a roller coaster of emotions. It's funny, it's deep, it's uncut, and you're not going to want to miss any of it. If you have something to say, you want to tell me what you liked, didn't like, who you want to see next, my socials are at the Hekla, mainly on Instagram. And thank you for watching The 8-Bit Show on WIC Now. I'll see you in part 2.